Hey, welcome to the April 15th Tax Day meeting of the Economic Development Task Force. First order of business tonight is the minutes from the last meeting. Are there any changes or corrections to those?
I do have a question. I'm sorry I missed the last meeting. The questions that were given to Caroline, did we get responses to those?
We will discuss those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lori, you had brought up 3 of them is what
Okay.
it is. Or it's like, what?
Thank you.
I'm happy with the minutes.
Lori, every meeting you've had at least one change. Come on, Lori.
Okay, in that case, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to
No,
approve
give me a
the-
minute.
No, you already said you were happy with it.
All right, a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Okay. Okay. The purpose tonight really is to look at the final report and make any tightening up and adjusting and agree on any wording and things like that. But the question was asked on the information from Carolyn, and there seemed to be some confusion between her as to whether the best practices checklist was being done by her or was being done by Danielle. So I checked with Danielle tonight and she said no, as far as she knew it was being done by Carolyn, so I will get back and tell her to dust off her notes and get that squared around so we can include that into the final. Yeah, which would be a spot in there. The other thing that that we had asked her was in regards, and it's on page 4 of the report, page 4 right now, which was how many, in the jobs that were lost, and I did get from her a chart which goes out through 2012, but I think we can extrapolate. I can probably get her to fill in the 2013 numbers on that. But this was just manufacturing job losses from essentially from 2001 through 2012. Well, actually not losses, but the manufacturing jobs in Raymond from 2001 to 2012. And when they were at 2001, they were up at 580, and at 2012 they were at 200. And I know that from 2012 through 2014 there was at least 40 more that were lost up at Dielectric. So my recommendation there is that on that page 4 that we say over 400 jobs in the past 6 years. What I do not have a number on is what the economic impact of those were. I don't know how quickly, or if she can actually get us what that is. I mean, that's more of a nebulous thing. But I mean, it does point to where the decline is and where the opportunities are. So, all right. So, probably the easiest thing is to start going through this, and I want to thank Lori for kind of spearheading getting it pulled together and integrating the inputs that she got from people in multicolors, so we can then
Yes.
decide what we want, how we want to, which wordings we want to keep and what we want to do there. So, if we look at page 2, which is the executive summary, she struck out my favorite. Well, actually, Sharon struck out my favorite word, bifurcated, but that's all right. But what I would recommend is after desired to, we add the word both. because by taking out bifurcated, I mean, essentially, we're recommending both economic,
To grow.
you know, we're making, recommend, you know, we've got two different
To
areas.
both grow.
Desired to both grow economically as well as maintain the quality of life.
Are we splitting it infinitive?
Yeah, well, and I'll put up with that, but then both and as well as would be redundant, so
Right,
either one or the other. Either take as well as out, or use the word both.
right. I would use both and take out as well.
Okay,
Take out two, desire both, no, you do have to have two. Both to grow
Both grow
economically and maintain the quality of life. I would strike so out of that. So, I mean,
Value at life.
just value.
up above that, at the end of the second paragraph, we surveyed current business. Can we make that businesses?
Yes.
Yes.
Anything else on that page?
No?
There wasn't anything on page 3.
No, that was copied wholesale
Yeah, that
from
was-
the,
Okay, page 4. So in the, after the 400 jobs over the past, and change the XXS to 6.
6. I wondered about using underutilized and then not being used to their highest and best use. Isn't that the same thing as underutilized?
Mm, Can be taken two different ways. Underutilized could be, it's just not at full capacity. Its highest and best use still may be for manufacturing, but it may be underutilized in the fact that it's got excess space available.
Okay, so is everyone happy with it?
I mean, that's my interpretation.
Okay, nope, I'm good, I just had a question about saying the same thing twice.
Mhm.
I'm fine. Leave it. Leave it alone.
Okay, then we had this to an A.
Okay, now, Smarty Pants, the reason I did that was because that was that was the title of that document.
Mhm.
So I said the task force reviews this self-evaluation tool because that was the name on the document, that what I have in quotations there.
Oh, okay.
So I don't care, but that was the.
Well, it's either that or then we put it in quotes.
Pardon?
Either that or we put it in quotes if it's a title.
I did.
It's not.
Snot?
No. It's not. Not snot. It is not. There's no
you're killing me.
quotation.
I got, okay, best practices for promoting a business-friendly, you guys don't see quotation
Wait a
marks?
minute, where are you? Where are
Around
you?
that,
You,
yes.
do you?
Yes,
Yeah, yes.
It's right before immediate actions.
best practice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was the name of it, and you know what else I could do, is put it in, is take the quotes out and put it in italics.
No, I was talking about
It's already
the
bold
changing,
now.
where we changed this to A.
Yes, and I was saying don't do that because the reason I used the word this was because of the best practices thing was the name of that document. It wasn't a self-evaluation tool, that was
Okay.
the one, that was it. It was the self.
Okay, I'd change that to D then. You change it to D or leave it at this?
I'm lobbying for this.
Reviewed this self-evaluation.
Best practices for promoting a business-friendly climate was the self-evaluation tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the name of it.
Interesting, the task force reviewed.
Okay, how about best practices for promoting a business-friendly climate? Instead of saying checklist, I could say self-evaluation tool. The task force reviewed. I don't know.
Are we attached, is that one of our attachments?
Yes.
Okay, then that's fine, then
See,
change it to this, because it's,
Eventually it is.
yep.
I think.
Okay, that's fine.
You
Yes,
could
yeah.
say, you could say attached after it if you want.
Yes, that was it, thank you. I meant to remember, can we sprinkle that, like wherever we do
Yep.
have an attachment, I'll find them, but I just
Yeah,
got
just
thinking
put-
about
yeah.
that, because we do have a rack of attachments, and then I think it would be nice to let people know
Yep,
that.
Or you
all right.
could number them like it.
Yep,
yep. Yeah, so we'll, we
All
can
right.
highlight there where we're gonna have, what the attachment was. Okay, that's fine.
Is there also an attachment for the economic development models? So that,
yep,
well, you're right, everything needs to have that
Yep.
notation.
so I'll find where we reference those and then think of some way to let people know they can flip to
Yeah.
them.
Appendix A,
You
B,
just call
C,
it
D,
AV,
yeah.
or either appendix or attachment. Okay, page 5. Any problem with the suggested change there?
I think this is where I begin to run into severe problems.
Okay,
It seems, shouldn't we prelude these with where they fit? Aren't these kind of recommendations under either economic development model or best practices or, I don't know, to me, it seems as though these don't really follow from what we've already said. Should they not be included in with, for instance, parking standards in the commercial district? That's sort of sitting out there by itself.
I think
What
what we
about
were trying to
parking
do was, in this section, before we got into findings for the purposes of the task force work, we were trying to acknowledge that there were other efforts, and maybe there's a better way to say that than immediate actions, but we were trying to say that that other people had noticed this, that, and the other thing over the past however long, and these things are already going on. So if anybody thinks nobody's ever done anything, that's not the case. Is there a better way to say that than immediate actions?
Probably.
um,
Existing.
we just say actions already in progress.
Actions in progress?
I don't like it, but I don't have anything better, so I'm
No,
not
I don't,
saying
yeah, you see, I'm getting it, right?
Yeah,
That we,
yeah.
rather than act like we're breaking new ground here on every single initiative, there are some things that other folks were doing.
Well, then say it.
Rather than breaking.
Yeah, because, I mean,
Reword that so that it's clear.
Yeah, well, that was early on in our research. The task force became aware that certain business-related issues have already been raised and that various efforts are underway, and then maybe, all right, I tell you what.
And then
I'll
say,
leave
and
that, and
they-
then I'll bullet them.
And they are these, or
Yep,
these
yep.
are,
Ones
ra-
below it.
the-
Yep,
yeah,
I'll bullet 'em.
following, or,
And here they are.
and here they are.
All right,
Something to indicate.
To address
it's not just,
There's certain deficiencies, that's what these are.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you bullet them, then it says
Then
those.
it's
Then it says
just a little
those,
clearer,
Then
yeah.
it says what they, what they were. Sure.
So, well, and then within some of the blue there, there are a few typos. Do we want to say them out loud, or do you want me to just fix them?
well, after informational packet, that's the obvious one. The
Information.
town does not have.
Yeah. Yes, that is one. And then share a notice seeking and start or.
Right.
Up above
Seeking.
that, there's tutus, can go tutu easily. And then the single point area, I was trying to think of a way to say that the current website does not have a single point area a business can go tutu easily. I don't know.
A designated area, or a, well, let's see, yes, the,
Or even just a single area.
yeah,
A drop-down menu.
Can go to. And I know what that says, I gotta think of some other way, can go to, in order to easily find the steps, how about that? Okay, so I'm cool with the rest of it.
other questions on the website section? The information packet section? Just correcting the
Yeah,
wording there. Survey section?
Did you get my,
we did.
okay.
Is that what we're tucking in there?
Well, you can see what I did. You can see what I did to that page.
Yep.
That looks like her papers. Are you sure you don't have one of hers?
I think we
Yeah, you
got
didn't use-
ESP at the same
You didn't
time.
use green.
No, I didn't.
Well, did you want to just
That's yours.
stick in that, the thing that you wrote? Lisa?
Well, I think, what do you think of it? I mean, what do we think of it?
Well, actually, oh, okay. Okay, so you're now under findings, or you're back at the,
Well, I'm just striking the whole thing and putting in survey.
under where?
I know where it is.
Like-
Not under survey, oh, okay, so
Right
you're,
here, she'd like to
Strike
insert this.
findings.
Get rid of that, all that, and put this.
right, but not this, because this is a different topic. This survey is not
Right.
that survey.
Exactly. If
Right, so that
this
stays.
Immediate actions is redefined, then the survey
right.
here
Okay.
is something that was already
Right,
underway.
right, so
But
that
this-
stays up there.
Then we do.
Then we go into
Then we
the,
go to the survey that this task force conducted. Conducted by Danielle.
yeah, but, I mean, so you're, so you're talking, taking this whole survey response out and inserting yours, but keeping the general topic of findings, because that's the chapter
Right.
that we're in, correct? If I'm
Yes.
interpreting
So
correctly.
you're thinking, take out all of page 6?
I'm down to, yes, down to economic development, organizational model. Or just reworking that whole section.
Yeah, because we just, really what we want is the highlights of it, because this actual survey is
It's-
is the attached.
As attachments, right. See attachments.
Do people have heartburn with that?
But did I?
Okay, so are we agreed?
Yep.
Make it so.
I'm on it.
Okay. Organization, or economic development organizational models. Let's see.
Did we fill in the blanks there or what?
Well, that's gonna, the blank is gonna be,
The appendixes.
that's the, whatever the
This is-
appendix number will be.
Yeah.
Okay, so the blank is C
Yep.
such and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know yet. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And that I still have, and the second part I still need to get from, I haven't got that from Caroline. The financial, the G&A expense under the, at the MMA towns. But that blank there will be what that attachment number is. And told her I want the stuff by Thursday, so.
Good for you.
Okay, recommendations.
The first Create Economic Advocacy staff, I struck the first 3 words of the next sentence, just starting with responsibilities would include. Well, actually, somebody else did strike that.
Yeah, I struck were the, and just
The
started with the,
Right. Which, of course.
or actually, I guess Sharon, you were the blue, I was the red. No, maybe, I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
sure.
you know
I'm not
what?
sure who
It
was blue
depends
and
on
who was
what you
red.
use to print this thing, whether you
just
were
have to
blue
I
or
can't remember
red.
if I was red or blue.
Responsibilities
Whatever.
would.
Yes, that was kind of irritating, to see that you'd swapped colors.
Well, that's all right. I'm multifaceted.
The Crips and the Bloods.
I can be red, green, orange, purple, whatever.
No way. So hang on now. So the recommendations that are at the end of the survey part, those go in here
It kind
somewhere,
of
right?
overlaps that, doesn't it? Yes.
Right.
So I'm not
Because the survey recommendations are recommendations that came to us from the survey.
From the survey, right.
Then we have the task force recommendations.
Hang on.
So maybe, so maybe on there, for clarity, what you say is recommendations from respondents.
Yes.
That way there's no confusion as to where those recommendations came from.
Okay,
Recommendations
From
the
survey respondents.
Yeah.
Survey
Got it.
response.
Yep.
okay.
Okay, so recommendation number 1, changes or things on that?
So we're at the creative thing, right?
Right.
Okay, so that got taken out?
What?
The create?
No, 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 no.
That was taken
No,
out.
it's, the question was the beginning of sentence number 2, was there going to have, and so we, so we're doing, we're starting it with the, and then responsibilities.
Okay. We're keeping the,
Yeah.
okay.
Other things people want in that one? Okay, point 2, changes. Point 3. Point 4.
I lost my place. I had to count the dollars.
Point 4 is provide access to information
Well,
on
thank you.
business-related educational workshops, seminars.
See, if they'd had numbers, I wouldn't have been confused. But
Point,
not Roman numerals,
no.
so I can't do those.
Point 5, make Raymond a business-friendly community while maintaining its high quality of life.
Or maintaining it.
Maintaining.
And then we've
Right.
got the, see Sharon's warnings about
Oh, yeah.
criteria.
Do you want to talk about that, Sharon,
Let's see, what did I say?
or use?
If we say this, does that mean we recommend that Raymond should meet the criteria on the list? Yes. So, do you remember the list and how extensive it was and how some of the criteria appear to be out of our reach?
Yep.
So, are we really recommending that we try to meet all of those criteria or some of them? Or we didn't really even talk about whether we really thought. we
Or
should.
what we really mean by business-friendly.
Yeah, if business friendly means meet the criteria on that list, well then, is that what we want? Because we really didn't say if we wanted that.
Right.
There was a lot, and some of them are kind of controversial. I mean, like, they're a little much for Raymond. I mean, some of us might think that.
So I'm happy taking it out if that's.
I don't know, I
like
just-
Yeah,
I mean, we can say make it a business-friendly community, but what, if we don't mean meet the criteria on the list, what do we mean?
that I don't know.
Right, because when people say what exactly is business friendly, because you're looking at marketing is one thing, and then making, and they're gonna say, well, how do you do that? And
Yes.
a lot of people aren't gonna know about that list, but that list was pretty extensive.
Yeah, and, I mean, everybody at this table might have a different opinion about what on that list we really should aim for.
All right,
If we said explore making Raymond a,
what if we,
That's right, the advisory committee could do that.
Yeah, but still, once again, how,
well, it'd be up to them, so.
yeah. She just passed the
I
buck.
just did, yeah.
All right, that works, explore.
Explore work. I'm happy taking the whole
Yeah.
thing out too. I know it's vague. I just wasn't, I didn't want to refer to that DECD app either. So like,
We wanna think Raymond is business friendly. Already. But we have to market it.
How about create a marketing plan?
how about explore ways to make Raymond a more attractive business community?
Because it doesn't follow the rules, but it's also different ways that people can think of bringing a
Well,
business in.
oh, that's good, Rolf.
That's good.
Explore ways to make Raymond a more business-friendly community.
more attractive business community.
You said attractive? Attractive.
No, he just threw that in.
That's not bad. What do you think?
I like it.
I mean, because it says two things. We didn't have time to fully develop that, but it should be, that's a topic for the select board.
We'd be
and
happy to
them
give our opinions.
Does that work?
Yeah.
And when it comes to selectmen, Sam, you and I can question why isn't it meeting the so-and-so criteria, huh? Good, neither do we.
No, because that wasn't supposed to be another bullet. That was just a note.
No, I know.
Well, I mean, one of the big, as we all know, one of the big things on that list was to have a comp plan, and have a comp plan with areas to expand the commercial.
With the growth,
district,
yeah,
the
that's
growth
right,
area.
yeah.
So, but I mean, by doing that, what we're saying is it's an area to be looked at,
Right,
Okay.
because it's more encompassing than
yeah, I mean,
what we have time for.
we don't all
in this,
necessarily
where
know if
we
that's
are
the
right
right thing
now.
to do, yeah.
Unless we want to just meet every month for like
Well,
a
yeah.
long time.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So we happy with that? Okay. Next point was market Raymond is a business-friendly community. We still happy with that?
Okay. Explain how that differs from what we just said.
It is a recommendation on something that should be done.
We're gonna market it,
We're gonna-
even though we haven't made it one
No,
yet, we're
no,
gonna
no, no,
market
it says
as-
first you're gonna identify, but once you
We're
do
gonna
that, then you're gonna, you're going to
What
explore
makes
that,
it.
you're gonna come up with
Okay.
what it is, and then you're gonna
Then
market
market
it.
it.
Market
Yeah.
it.
Because we're not saying you go out tomorrow and start marketing
Right.
this, because it's not done yet. But what we're saying is, once you determine what you're gonna do,
Right.
you don't hide your light under the
Yep,
bushel
then do
basket.
your
We're
advertising.
gonna have to identify business friendly in
Yeah.
that case.
Yep, and then we're gonna have to do something about that fish later.
Yeah.
Fry them. With a few fiddleheads, and we're all set.
Well, I don't like this whole marketing thing, but it turns out it's really, based
It's
upon
important.
looking around the website and everything, people are really fired up about this. Towns are branding themselves and having an identity and pretty cool.
Okay,
So now I'm more into it.
okay. Well, the final one was review and update expiring comp plan, especially with regard to parking and land use. Issues or questions there?
Well, are we gonna take out business-friendly certification since we took it out of above? Because people are aren't they gonna ask, what is the business-friendly certification? Because we don't mention it above.
But it was,
Did we have it as
Here.
part of our research?
It's in the survey.
isn't that the thing you had in quotes? Way at the beginning?
No, that's that's just that checklist that we
All
went
right.
down through.
This is to support the idea of a real estate open house.
All
and
right,
the
so,
application.
okay.
Best
So,
practices
all right, let's
for
change
business
it, let's
climate.
change that to say some grants and government programs depend upon an active plan,
Yeah.
Some plans
and government support programs.
Because it doesn't lock us into that business-friendly certification.
Yep. Some grants and government support programs.
Depend upon an active plan.
Okay,
That work?
Yep.
Okay. Then we have the attachments that will go in there.
and that's just
Yep.
as I thought of them, so that I'll
Could be
re,
changed.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so they make some kind of sense and also are in the correct order.
I mean, I wanted to go back to, did you think we should be trying to meet the criteria on that list?
That was a lot. That was some big stuff. It really was.
Because I didn't want to say we shouldn't, I
No.
just want to say if we all think we should be working toward that, then we can agree to it, but I didn't think we discussed that yet.
Do we mention it, I have it as an attachment too, the actual
Isn't that
application.
best practices for promoting a business-friendly climate checklist? Isn't that the same thing?
No,
That's
that
keeping
was
costs.
that was the one sheet where you said that whether it was in progress or you were working on it or what. This was
That's
an
a
actual.
DECD application.
Yeah, this was, and it had blue on it, as I recall. Yeah, okay, so that's this thing. Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which we didn't really ever even go through, I don't think.
You know what you do with that? You can attach that, but just, all you do is you say, this is an example of a.
One of them.
Of a government
Certification model,
program.
yeah, okay.
Which, it just gives an example of some of the things that are out there.
Well, somebody that may see this may also think, wow, this is really overwhelming, and back off altogether. You want people to become involved, in helping move the town along, and at least
Let me
3
just
letters of support.
refresh my memory. I'm sure I must have it in here somewhere.
I mean, there's, but I mean, that, it's an example of a government program that is out there. Whether that is specifically the one, but, what you want to be able to do is investigate any things that are out there. You still have
Well,
to
that's
make a
right. Yep,
determination
that's
whether
right.
it makes sense for the town to try and apply for it or not.
There may be other,
But you still want to be looking for these opportunities, and then you make an informed decision at that point as whether you feel that it's logical to go after it or not.
You're up to date on that? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds like somebody's kicking.
Yeah, it's gonna be the wind.
Oh, I looked under thinking it was Lori kicking. and it
No.
sounded like your feet are still.
I don't do that.
Sounds like it's coming from this
Were
way.
they at
That's why I was on the door.
Excuse me.
So this is our pile of attachments.
Oh, great job, though.
It seems like there was one more that came in later that we were going to, yeah. If I didn't-
Oh, I just sent that
Oh, I
bulleted
love that
list.
thing, yes.
Well,
yeah.
it was, just
can't just
because
remember.
Elisa thought we should directly address the 3 requirements from the charge. And I didn't mean that this would be anything like what it would actually be. I just threw things on there, but if we wanted to directly respond to those requirements of the charge, we could just list them and put things under them. If anybody thinks we need to go directly at that.
You know what she means?
Yes? Do you?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Oh, yeah, no, I got it, yeah. As a matter of fact, I have it right here.
I don't know, Elisa, you suggested it. Do you think we've covered it here, or do you think we need to be more
I think, we're still waiting for information from Caroline, is
Yes.
that correct? Okay, and that will sort of plug into the best practices,
Right,
okay?
and
So,
that's gonna be one of the attachments.
Right.
That's one of the
in
attachments.
that case, I think we're good.
Okay, so no.
So we don't have to do the
Don't
list
have
of
to.
three?
No,
Okay.
because I think we've covered,
That's, yeah.
Well, I'm hanging on to
as
it just
long
in case
as,
we
you know,
don't
we
get
plug
it.
in the best practices.
Because we can go back and look at the best practices when we get it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm putting it here, just. May. And the other thing was that comp plan strategy matrix. I didn't have it as a paper document, but I have it.
Yeah, it's on the website.
Yeah.
Do you still want, never mind.
Oh, now you can't stop there. Come on, do I?
Oh, I just said, do you want Bob Harmon's name, but I saw withdrew after it, over the next side, that's all, sorry.
No.
Way it lines up on my paper,
All
my computer, yeah, never mind.
right.
That's
Okay,
blurry.
go back up. Okay.
All right. Other things people want in there or not in there, or?
I like that it's short and to the
Other than the
point.
picture of the fish?
Oh, right. I don't dislike the fish, I just want to be clear. You don't like it?
No.
I don't dislike it.
Let's see.
Guys are going after my heritage here.
I know, you just, I think Raymond's gonna be known more for that, but no.
I found one that we could use on the website.
Okay,
It looks
so
almost like it.
if not, then what the intent would be is to get this buttoned up, and then we'll send it around for one final, you'll send the final draft out for any final,
The drop
Tweaking.
dead draft.
and based on the responses from that, we'll change it from a draft to the final, and we'll ask for an audience with the powers that be,
Powers be.
and we'll only be a month late.
Good for us.
CM's good with leniency like that.
Yes, it was a snowstorm.
The deadline for the May Selectmen's meeting is May 2nd.
To get on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we should, as I say, I've told Caroline I want the stuff from her by Thursday, so I'll
Which is the day after tomorrow.
Right.
Cool.
So I will I just wanted, because there was that confusion as to who was doing what there. So I got that resolved tonight, so I'll go back to her tonight and let her know that, no, I want her to do that. And I'd like to have that by Thursday, so. So if we can get that, then that's one of the attachments, so it's just a matter of interleaving that in where, where it's
Right.
gonna go there.
And if we don't get it, deciding what we want to do differently.
Right.
Yeah.
But then based on that, if we look at targeting getting that final draft into people's hands by Monday, Tuesday, is that doable?
It is. I can spin that right around too if you don't care about the attachments. I had decided not to, remember I said I
Yeah.
was going to attach them all,
Mhm.
and then I saw what that meant,
Yeah.
and I changed my mind. So I can still list them if you want to see it sooner
Yeah, I think
than-
the list is helpful, but,
Yeah.
I think we, whether they need to be attached in that final draft coming around, I guess that's up to what if people want to see those again there, or, most of them, I mean, the only ones there that we haven't seen is that final redo of the checklist. So
Yeah.
I'd like to have that so people can see that. So even if that goes out as separate, that's, you know, we can do that as soon as I get that, I can shoot that around.
Okay,
But otherwise, you start to get into a 3 and 4 megabyte file that's.
yeah, it was
floating about.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, now, are you planning on putting this on the website after it's been given to the select board?
After it's given to the select board, it is up to them to place it where they so desire. Because the way that works is we're dealing at their bidding. So we are handing them a report. What they do with the report then is entirely up to them.
But you are going to have to email it to them, so you're going
Yes.
to have to put all those megabytes on
Yeah,
the
which, and I
document.
didn't mind that as a, you know, as a final thing, it just seemed a shame. I wasn't sure how much of this was gonna go back and forth among the group.
Right.
And to keep seeing that, you know,
Yeah.
that monster
Fill
come
up
in.
our
and-
emails.
Yeah,
Good plan.
seemed unkind. So I- All right,
All right. Other comments or suggestions? In that case, as soon as we know that we have a date, I'll let people know, and then we can all converge on them and see what we want to do there. But I want to thank everyone for the efforts that they put into it so far.
indeed,
Thank you all.
it's been real.
To all, a good night.
It's all a good night.